Hey folks, here's my favorite non-story of the day. And this was during an interview by a Polish website, gaming website, about whether or not the Cyberpunk content or any of the Cyberpunk game at all is going to have anything changed as a result of what's happening in the United States with politics or police shootings and what have you. And this all becomes a sensitive issue because other companies like Sony PlayStation or Activision have all these blackout sort of comments either in their games or on Twitter or what have you. So they're not doing that for Cyberpunk, thank goodness. So it's a really a non-story. But the question was asked on this spidersweb.pl, a Polish website. So they said, do you have any change of any game content, including tasks, due to recent US events? Which is like, can you kill black NPCs or some nonsense like that? It's like, yeah. The important point is that at this stage, we already have the game recorded. So no, we're not changing anything for a long time now. This is the last stage. We will change nothing, add nothing, and remove nothing in the story we tell. These events, as you yourself have noticed, took place very recently. So yes, Cyberpunk, the gold standard of CD Projekt RED, has not changed. They haven't gone crazy. They're not trying to cater to anyone. Everything's done. They're polishing everything up. The second point is that for us, Cyberpunk and The Witcher are games that show our philosophy as a study. So this is not just a body of work that they're focusing on. This is their academic look at things as well. They're not just make game thing, make piece art, here go. They're actually thinking about stuff, trying to improve. Most games or game developers do this anyway, but he's obviously taking the extra time. This team is not just pumping out a game. Polishing is more than just making sure all the bugs are gone. That's a huge part of it, but they're making the science of game making their actual focus, so they get better in the future. The game we are working on is largely entertainment medium, but for us it is also an art, a work that shows our vision. It is difficult for me to imagine events that would have to happen so that we could suddenly find that we're changing or shifting something in order not to touch any specific elements. This is the exact response you want to hear from any artist. It's like, listen, I don't care what's happening in the universe. I don't care what's hot or what's selling. I don't care what people want. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. Nothing's going to change that. Now, if they're a great artist, if they're a great dev studio, that's exactly what you want to hear. If they're a crappy dev studio and they're not listening to marketing or they're not listening to their fans, then that's their story. This sentiment can be appreciated by the makers of the Witcher series. So this is an okay thing for them to say. It seems to me that you saw the game develop elements that touch it, so you could see for yourself. For me, the most important in that our game is a closed work and it is not a political statement or a political thesis. As a studio, we have such an amalgam of various people who have different approaches to politics, religion, spiritual, internal life, and when it comes to sexual orientation or political sympathies. And you see some of those elements in the game. We saw some hoopla about that months ago, about some of the advertisements showing trans characters. And the guys in the studio are like, yeah, so this is what we wanted to do. It was always part of the world. Even the writer was like that. We are always trying to cultivate openness and approach it in such a way that everyone can get a say and represent each of these shades, as long as it's obviously within the limits of law and reason, so that each player can find here something for everyone and find answers to your own questions. That's fine. The game is a work of art. I always stick to it. I always say is to my designers, I don't feel like I'm producing something. I feel like I'm painting a picture or making music, stories, or movies. This is an art for me. The art is the stories we tell the player, and this is the most important for us. That's my favorite quote. This may be a non-story, but you're getting the right response from the right guys making the gold standard of video gaming as we know it. Thanks for listening, guys. Have yourself a great day.